For more than a decade, Dubai sold the world's richest, something money can't buy. Safety you never had to think about. In 2026, that promise has cracked as much of the capital it attracted has now started hunting for a new home. 3 jurisdictions are competing for 81,000 millionaires, and IMI has the intel on which one could pull it off, which one can't, and the dark horse we finish on. Stay to the end for that. Now, let's start with what Dubai was selling to understand what could replace it, because it was never only low tax. Plenty of places charge little or nothing. Dubai's edge was the feeling that you could leave your car unlocked and stop thinking about your physical security at all. That single feeling has pulled in money and talent at a scale few cities worldwide have matched. Nearly 1,000 millionaires moved to the United Arab Emirates last year, bringing an estimated $63 billion in wealth. Dubai's millionaire population has doubled since 2014 to more than 81,000 people. Its financial centre alone hosts around 120 family offices, managing close to $1.2 trillion. But the issue is that foreigners in the UAE can typically leave as fast as they arrived. That mobility built the model, but it's also a point of failure. That failure point arrived when an air war broke out between Israel, the United States, and Iran. Within days, the fighting reached the Gulf states, and for the first time, Dubai itself was a target. A strike sent smoke over its largest port. A drone hit a residential tower. Another briefly shut the international airport. Many wealthy residents did not wait for the all clear. In just a week, private bankers in Singapore and Hong Kong were fielding calls from Dubai clients who wanted their money and families out. One asset protection lawyer said several of his clients, averaging around $50 million each, contacted him immediately. Inquiries to one major migration firm tripled between March and May against the 3 months before. A ceasefire took hold in April, but both sides have broken it more than once, and the whole regional picture still shifts week to week. By the way, these are the kind of moves our IMI Sovereigns members watch unfold in real time inside our private investor community full of sovereignty tools. The centre of it is IMI Signals, live calls where our editorial team, with ears on the ground in more than 100 jurisdictions, shares what's moving before it hits the wire. When a story like Dubai breaks, sovereigns hear it first. Link and discount are in the description. So where does that money and talent go? The first instinct is to stay close and move down the road, but that solves little. Iran's retaliation hit Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait and Oman, as well as the UAE. Every Gulf rival courting the wealthy is under the same threat from the same direction. A jump from Dubai to Doha is a simple change of address. It may not be a hedge. There is a second trap holding people in place. The UAE Golden Visa feels like an anchor for those relocating to the country, yet it grants only renewable residency, with no path to permanent settlement or citizenship. On top of that, in March, the UAE began revoking residence permits, including property-linked golden visas held by Iranian nationals who were outside the country. The same digital system built to welcome you can also lock you out. For most, the alternatives are outside the region, and each one is unique. We rank the following 3 havens by how closely each one parallels Dubai: zero tax, prestige, and safety in a single package. Number 3 is Switzerland. It sells the opposite of uncertainty: neutral, secure, and calm through generations of European upheaval. For the wealthy, it offers a lump sum tax deal that is high but fixed in advance. Rather than taxing your worldwide income, the canton taxes you on an assumed figure tied to your living costs, agreed before you ever move in. The federal minimum taxable base for 2026 sits around 435,000 Swiss francs, and in practice, the cantons that still offer it set annual bills from roughly 200,000 to well over 500,000 Swiss francs. 21 of the 26 cantons keep the regime, while 5 have scrapped it entirely. The catch is what you must give up, though. You cannot work in the country under this deal. You have to spend most of the year there, and foreigners face tight limits on buying property. It's difficult for wealthy investors relocating to Switzerland to match Dubai's zero-tax policy. What the Alpine country gives you instead is a bill you can calculate to the franc and security that has held through a century of European wars. For high net worth individuals who value predictability above all, that may be worth it. For anyone chasing Dubai's ideal tax deal, it falls a bit short. The next contender, however, flips that balance, and it's where many Dubai expats in the first wave are landing. Number 2 is Singapore, which matches Dubai on safety and prestige in a base far from the Strait of Hormuz. Singapore also pairs one of the world's strongest economies with no capital gains tax and no inheritance tax. The gap is the entry price. Singapore's main investment route to permanent residency requires at least 10 million Singapore dollars placed in a local business, 25 million Singapore dollars in an approved fund, or a family office holding at least 200 million in assets, while Dubai's golden visa starts near 2 million dirhams, just $550,000. You can apply for top-shelf Singaporean citizenship after about 2 years, but approval is discretionary, and the country does not allow dual nationality. So, going all the way means surrendering your current passport. The program is small by design, having granted a permanent residency to just 450 investors across the decade to 2025. For a family that wants an Asian base and a durable passport, Singapore could be a close fit. But you pay for it in entry capital, in income tax Dubai does not levy, and in the passport you may have to give up. Now, only one place keeps Dubai's deal almost fully intact. And that is Monaco, which has not charged personal income tax since 1869, and on top of that, no capital gains tax or wealth tax. Located on the French Riviera with ample private security and one of the lowest crime rates in Europe, the safety matches too. Monaco doesn't have a residency by investment program. Instead, if you prove you can support yourself, which in practice means a bank deposit starting at 500,000 euros and running to 1 or 2 million euros at many private banks, you can gain residency. But an issue in Monaco is permanence. Property in the city-state is among the most expensive on earth, averaging near 52,000 euros per square metre. The principality is tiny, and newcomers cannot realistically become citizens without decades of residency. Additionally, as of 2026, the Monegasque government applies extra scrutiny to applicants holding Iranian, Russian or Belarusian passports, proof that even the safe havens screen by nationality when geopolitics demands it. So, can any of these 3 alternatives replace Dubai? Each one rebuilds a piece of the offer, and not one rebuilds the whole thing. They all share at least one weakness, and none of them hands you a fast passport. As IMI Pro Philippe May puts it, Switzerland takes more than 10 years to citizenship, Hong Kong more than 7, Monaco more than 25 and at its own discretion. And Singapore is discretionary too. A second residency in these places is a comfortable base, but it may not be the escape hatch a second citizenship gives you. That is why many Dubai-based families are not trying to replace Dubai at all. They refuse to treat any single hub as permanent. They hold a residency in one country and a citizenship somewhere else, often an alternate passport bought purely as insurance. So the next air raid siren becomes a reason to travel rather than a panic signal. A few others are on the edges of this shift. Italy now caps tax on all foreign income at a flat 3,000 euros a year for new tax residents after raising it in 2026. Hong Kong is absorbing some of the same outflows on low territorial taxation, though with political ties to Beijing that Singapore does not have. And Turkey has just rolled out a 20-year foreign income tax exemption to parallel their direct citizenship program with open real estate market investment options. On that note, one country has come through the war almost untouched, sheltered behind NATO air defences, and it may be the only contender that can combine all three pieces the others cannot: safety, low tax, and a Plan B passport in one package is exactly what many Dubai emigrants may be hunting for. We covered the new tax deal and who qualifies in the video on your screen now. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want this kind of intel before the rest of the market catches on.